Hello guys, this is What If Naruto Had Haki, and I want y'all to support the owner of this fanfic and join my Discord. Also subscribe if you like it, and if you don't you can always unsub. Now let's get started, my Darksiders. Naruto sighed as he looked out over Konoha from atop the cliff, holding the faces of the 4 Hokages of Konoha. Sure, he was going to become Hokage someday. He knew that, but entering the Chunin exam, he wasn't so sure that he was ready. His mind drifted back to the mission that he and his team had completed in the Land of Waves. During the mission, all he had learned was tree walking. Sasuke had managed to awaken his shining, Sharingan, that was it, giving him a massive boost. Even Sakura had come out better with her perfect chakra control and Kakashi-sensei giving her taijutsu tips, but what had he learned? Tree walking. And he still wasn't very good at doing it. His only real jutsu was his shadow clone, and they were only really good for weakening an enemy since they burst too easily. He was in no way ready for the Chunin exams. He needed to learn more jutsu, but how? Kakashi kept refusing to teach him, spending time helping Sasuke with his fire jutsu, and Sakura would simply pound him again. Naruto sighed. He just wasn't ready. Unless he used the Kyuubi's chakra as he did on the bridge, he was hopeless. Even Sakura could beat him in taijutsu, and she was using the basic academy style, not the advanced form that Mizuki had. Naruto froze before he snarled, as he finally made a connection that he really should have made months ago. He was the only one who taught that style, and almost everyone could beat him in a spar. Mizuki had taught him a bad style, and only his pain tolerance and sheer stamina got him through the real fights. There was no choice. Until he got better, until he learned a proper style, and got some more jutsu to use, he just wasn't ready for promotion. He would send a shadow clone to wish his so-called teammates good luck while he would train. Naruto rested his chin on his hands, and he began to make a mental list of what he needed to do. He would need to find a new taijutsu style, one that would suit him. Maybe something with a lot of kicks. He always hated punching, preferring to kick when he could. He would also need to learn more chakra control exercises, but where could he get the knowledge? Then it hit him, Iruka-sensei would be willing to help him. He could go see him tomorrow. He could also search the library for a proper taijutsu style. Luckily the librarian was one of the few who didn't blame him for the Kyuubi attack. Naruto nodded as he rose from his seat, unaware that his decision had just changed the course of the future. The next morning, the alarm sounded and Naruto pulled himself out of bed, yawning. Getting up, he staggered into the bathroom and switched on the shower, letting the shock of the cold water finish waking him up as he reached for the lye soap. Wincing at its harshness, he scrubbed himself all over to get clean, then switched off the shower and wrapped a towel around his waist as he headed for the kitchen to make his breakfast. As he did so, he glanced at the calendar. Ugh, I need to do some training, but where? Iruka would know where a quiet place is. Maybe practice my kunai throwing, I suck at it. The whistling of the kettle caught his attention, and he quickly turned off the stove before pouring the hot water into a pot of instant ramen. Instant ramen, why do they call it instant? He groused, slowly stirring it. Should be called 3-minute ramen, not instant ramen. Why does this take so long? Why do 3 minutes pass like a damned 3 hours waiting for Kakashi-sensei? Grrrrrrr. After far too long for the blonde's liking, the ramen was finally ready, and he grabbed a pair of chopsticks. Itadakimasu. As he ate he couldn't help but think. As good as ramen is, I should learn how to cook. What old man Tucci said to me a couple of days ago is probably true. If I only eat ramen, then I won't grow any taller. I could always use the transformation to buy the things I need to cook. Within a minute, the cup was empty and Naruto threw it into the bin. Ah, that hit the spot. Alright, time to get dressed and then find Irika-sensei Databayo. Irika sighed as he worked his way through the folders arrayed on the desk before him. Although the Chunin exams were about to happen, and the academy had been temporarily closed down for the first stage, the paperwork was still somehow piling up. He would even take having to deal with another prank by Naruto rather than Irika-sensei. Irika looked up as Naruto pulled himself in through the window. Hey, Irika-sensei, I've been looking for you. Irika smiled as he said, Naruto, I'm afraid that I have a deadline, so I can't treat you too. Naruto interrupted Irika. Nah, don't want that at the moment. That sentence caused Irika to stare at him in shock. I need some advice, Irika-sensei. My chakra control still sucks even though I can tree walk. What other exercises are there? Irika leaned back, rubbing his chin thoughtfully as Naruto performed one of the best puppy dog eyes no jutsu he had ever seen a male perform. Honestly, it was better than some of the fangirls he had seen use it. Probably because of the whiskers. The only girl he had seen in the academy who could do better was Hinata. Well, the next stage is generally water walking. It's like tree walking, but takes more chakra, and you have to keep changing the amount because the water keeps flowing. Naruto exclaimed with a grin. Right. Water walking. That'll help with my chakra control and learning more jutsu Databayo. Irika frowned slightly. Naruto, after that night, I did some research into the shadow clone. Did you know that when a clone dispels, everything it learns gets sent back to the original and any other clones? Naruto looked at him blankly and Irika sighed. Look, make a clone for me. A puff of smoke marked the appearance of a second Naruto and Irika rose. Okay, original Naruto, stay here, clone, with me. Naruto nodded and sat down as Irika and his clone walked out the door. A moment passed, then Naruto blinked as Irika re-entered. Excellent. I'll head there to do it. Head where? Naruto stared at him as if he'd gone mad. The small lake you just told me about. I told your clone about it. Irika pointed out and Naruto's eyes widened so much that Irika thought that they were about to fall out of their sockets. Whoa. That's cool. Freaky, but cool. Irika shrugged. It'll help with your chakra control. Make 50 clones to do tree walking and 50 to do water walking. Every 5 minutes or so, dispel the best clone of each, and the memories of how to do it should help all the other clones do it better. Once all the clones are gone, you should be good at both. Just don't dispel too many at once or the influx of memories might knock you out. Whoa. Naruto breathed, then he lunged forwards and hugged Irika. Thanks. I knew that you'd be able to help me with that. Thanks, Irika-sensei. You're much better at teaching than Kakashi-sensei. Before Irika could respond, Naruto had released him and dived out of the window. I hope he remembers that he has the Chunin exam today. Irika sighed as he sat back down. Irika sighed, then stood up. Lifting the cushion, he pulled out a now deflated whoopee cushion that had been concealed beneath it. Looking at the whiskered chibi drawn on it, a figure giving the victory sign, he sighed with a wry grin. Alright, he got me. Naruto was in the shinobi section of the library browsing through taijutsu scrolls. He wanted to find one that would work best for him. Nearby was Lilith Levi, the retired kunoichi in charge of the shinobi section. She had never judged Naruto for being a Jinchuruki. Currently, she was giving Naruto some advice. So you want a taijutsu style revolving around kicks, huh? Well, we don't have many of those. She placed his finger on her cheek as she started to think. Well, actually I think I know one that might suit you well. But it's pretty old and no one uses it, because it is all kicks. Most shinobi tend to use both their hands and legs in a fight. Lilith left for a few minutes before coming out with an old scroll and handed it to Naruto, who opened it and started looking through it. Not noticing Lilith's smile and nod. She was right about her thoughts, it was the perfect style for him. It's called Black Leg style. It was developed by a fighting sea cook. It relies entirely on kicks, as he was quoted saying, "How would I cook if I ruined my hands?" Naruto looked through the scroll and smiled. He didn't know why, but this style just seemed to call to him. Is it possible to get a copy? Lilith smiled. Of course, Naruto-san. I'll make you a copy real quick. Hey, boss, what ya doin'? Hey, Konohamaru, Moegi, Udon. Naruto smiled at the trio of kids who were jogging up after him. Training, tree walking and water walking, once I grab a swimsuit. Cool. Can we come? Konohamaru asked and Naruto raised an eyebrow. Well, okay, I'll teach you tree walking when we get to the lake. You know where the small lake is near the training area 32? Naruto asked and Konohamaru nodded. Good, meet me there in half an hour, and I'll get you started on learning tree walking, which helps you with your chakra control and stealth. After all, very few people look up. To make his point, Naruto placed his foot on the wall of the building and then, concentrating hard, walked up the side of it until he was on the roof. Looking down, he smiled at the shocked expressions of the three children. Well, get moving, Databayo. Yes, sensei. All three chorused before sprinting off. Naruto chuckled and leaped across the alley, heading for his apartment. Arriving at the lake, Naruto quickly set up several long stakes, attaching a sheet to them to make a shielded training area. Pausing in thought, he performed his favorite jutsu and 60 clones appeared. You, Naruto said, pointing to one, head to the academy. When Team and Sakura show up, join them and wish them good luck, then dispel. The rest of you, start tree walking, except you two. You're on timing duty. I want you to see which clone is the best, and have it dispel after 10 minutes, you're on trees, and you will be water. You six stay to one side, you'll be teaching Ko and his friends tree walking when they arrive. Yes, boss. The clones shouted, then they split up to begin as Naruto darted into the shelter to change into his swimming trunks. Once he had done so, he moved to the edge of the small lake and summoned another 50 clones. Water walking. He commanded. Are you ready to start timing? Sure, boss, said the clone that had ambled over to join them, a big grin on its face. This should be fun. Yeah. Naruto sighed, then he started to focus his chakra. Whoa. We never spotted that before, one of his clones marveled. Naruto blinked and looked down at his stomach where an odd spiraling seal was fading. Oh, that must be the seal that the Yondaime sealed the Kyuubi into. Just ignore it. The QB? Cool. A younger voice crowed and Naruto face-bombed. Konohamaru, you're early. You have the QB sealed away? That's awesome. Konohamaru said as he dragged his friends to the water's edge. Naruto sighed as he said, "It's not that great. It's why so many hate me, they don't see me, they see it." The Yondaime sealed it away with the greatest seal he'd ever made so that it couldn't escape, but Naruto looked away with a frown. The village blames me for what QB did. Konohamaru frowned as he replied, "That's just dumb, you're the boss. You're not the QB." Naruto shrugged but couldn't help but smile hearing what Konohamaru said. Udon leaned forwards as he studied the seal. "That's amazing. I am so going to learn how to do that. It's called Fuinjutsu. I'll probably end up learning how to use it eventually. Would be very useful." Naruto supplied, then he blinked and turned to the other trunk-clad clones crowding around. "Oi. Water walking, remember?" The clones promptly scrambled to the edge of the lake, and soon a near-constant stream of splashes and cut-off swearing started to echo across the lake. Naruto sighed again. "Okay you three, I have 6 clones over there who will help you. They'll support you until you get the chakra right in your feet and catch you if you fall. Go on." "Thanks, boss." Konohamaru shouted as the trio ran towards the waiting clones. Naruto turned his attention to the lake. "Now, focus chakra, push it through my feet and glub. Blurg. Damn it. This is way harder than tree walking Databeo." One of the clones supporting Konohamaru explained what he had to do. "Now, channel your chakra through your feet and into the tree. Once you think you have it, try to pull your foot away to check that it's sticking. This is easy, whoa. Thanks." Konohamaru glanced across to the next tree, where Moegi had just been caught as she slipped off the trunk. The clones repositioned her so that her feet were pressed against the bark and, frowning in concentration, she started to slowly walk up the tree again. "This isn't so hard, whoa." Konohamaru looked the other way just in time to see the pair of clones assigned to Udon catch the plummeting boy. As he tried to calm down, the clones carefully repositioned him. "You're doing good. Keep going until you get tired, then stop for a rest." Konohamaru made the ram sign with his hands and felt his chakra flowing towards his feet. "Okay." He whispered and carefully took one step up the branch, then a second and a third. "Yes." Arg. The clones caught him as he dropped and he smiled at them. "Thanks." Naruto leaped for joy as he stood atop the water. Only 15 clones had been dispelled before the accumulated experience let him reach the point where he no longer had to concentrate. His remaining tree-climbing clones were all moving easily up and down the trees, and along the underneath of the branches, as if the oddly angled surfaces were simply the flat ground. From one side, the young trio watched in amazement. "See, I told you that boss was awesome." Konohamaru exulted as he wiped the sweat off his brow. "He taught us how to tree walk in one day, who else could have done that?" "Yeah, he's cool," Moegi admitted, then she sighed. "But I'm exhausted, how do I get home?" "My clones can carry you back," Naruto said as he walked towards the changing area to put his normal clothes back on. "Just direct them to where you need to go." "Thanks, boss," Konohamaru said as he let one of the clones pick him up and place him on the back of another clone. "Hokage Mansion. Away." "Hush you," laughed the clone as it started to jog off. Thanks, boss. Udon called as he was carried away and Moegi waved as she left. Naruto smiled and looked around. Alright, dispel 5 at a time, Naruto shouted, and the poofs of dispelling clones soon filled the clearing. Naruto closed his eyes as the memories flooded in, then he smiled as they settled down. Damn, that's a lot of tree climbing and water walking. Well, that means that I now have a better chance of learning new jutsu. Well, since my memories show that Team and Sakura have entered the exam, I guess I should try and see if any D-rank missions need doing. I need the money. Naruto paused and looked up at the sky. I think I'll get some ramen instead. Ichiraku's, here I come. Laughing, he ran out of the clearing, then after a few moments, he re-entered it, muttering under his breath. Can't believe that I forgot the sheet. I can't afford to leave it behind. Tonight will be too cold without it, BRR. Hey, old man, I am Nasan. One Naruto special please. I am stared at him in shock and Naruto shifted under her gaze. What? Have I got something on my forehead? Naruto? Tochi asked as he emerged from the kitchen area. What are you doing here? I thought you had entered the Chunin exams? Naruto sighed, looking down at the counter. Nah. I'm not ready for them yet. Haven't learned enough, all I've got is my shadow clone. Team has his Sharingan and fire jutsu, while Sakura can think her way through anything, and has perfect chakra control. Me, I'll just hold them back. Ayam and Tochi exchanged a long glance, then Ayam spoke. Dad, you get the ramen started. I got this. Okay. As Tochi vanished back through to the kitchen, Ayam leaned forwards, resting her elbows on the counter. So, how did the other two take your absence? Naruto sighed as he said. I sent a clone to give my best to them, but Sakura and the team refused to listen to it. I don't know why we're still regarded as a team. I mean, the only time we work together is when we're about to be killed. What sort of teamwork is that? Sakura keeps punching me, Sasuke never speaks more than 3 words at a time, and usually just grunts. Kakashi only ever bothers to teach the two of them. He shook his head. Well, since Kakashi doesn't want to bother to teach me, then I will just learn myself. Which reminds me. Naruto blushed as he said. Could you or old man Tochi help me learn how to cook? I can't always just eat ramen. Ayam smiled as she said. Sure Naruto-kun, I'll teach you how to cook. Naruto? A female voice gasped and Naruto spun round to find 3 people his age staring at him in shock. Hey, Kiba, Hayashino, hello. I know we used to be in the same class, what's your name again? Hinata. The girl half-whispered. Naruto grinned as he said. Well, Hinata, you have a very pretty name. Hinata began to blush upon hearing this, while Kiba snickered. Hey man, where were you? Kiba asked. I couldn't see you at the exam at all after the girls leaped at Sasuke. I decided I wasn't ready, so I stayed away. Naruto shrugged. I sent a clone to wish the other 2 luck, but they didn't listen. Man, that blows. Kiba snarled. You mean the other 2 got to take the exam without you? We were told by Kurenai-sensei that all 3 were needed before we could enter. I'm sorry. Hinata whispered, staring at the ground, and Kiba shook his head. Yeah, well, fortunately, the Scarhead was lying about never taking the exam again. We'll just have to get you stronger for next time. What happened? Naruto asked curiously. earlier with Naruto's clone that was sent to inform his team. "Where is that baka?" Sakura half-shouted, glaring around. From his perch on the railing of the small bridge, Sasuke just shrugged. "Maybe we should just leave him behind." Sakura growled. "We're ready for this, even if the baka isn't." Sasuke dropped onto the bridge with another grunt. Placing his hands in his pockets, he started to walk towards the academy, and Sakura quickly followed. A moment later, Sakura overtook him. "Come on. We need to run to get there on time." Sasuke pulled out his pocket watch and glanced at it, then broke into a sprint. "Damn it, if waiting for him costs me my chance at promotion, I'll kill the dobe." As the academy came into view, Sakura snarled at the sight of a familiar orange-clad figure waiting by the door. "Damn it. He knew to meet us at the bridge." Sasuke snarled. "Probably wanted us to fail so that he could pass." "Hey, guys, The figure started, only to stop as Sakura grabbed his collar. "Shut up and come on." "Hey, wait, you don't understand, GLRK." Working together, Sakura and Sasuke dashed up the 2 flights of stairs, dragging the protesting form of their teammate behind them. At the door to room 301, a familiar figure was waiting for them. "Just in time, another 30 seconds and you'd have been disqualified," Kakashi said, not looking up from the orange book he was reading. "Go on, the test is waiting for you, and it's a good thing you are all here, as if one of you had decided not to come, none of you could have participated." Sakura snarled at the protesting blonde as she shoved him through the door. "You almost cost us our chance." As Sasuke followed them through, the door closed and locked behind them. "Sasuke." Ino barreled through, knocking Sakura sideways as she latched onto Sasuke, then a voice sounded. "Enough. Everyone grab a number and get to a seat, now." Sakura grabbed a ticket from the proffered fishbowl and scurried to her seat. Once she sat down, she glanced around. "That's odd," she thought. "What happened to Naruto? His eye burning orange should be easy to spot, but I can't see him? Oh well. It's not as if he'd be of any use to us. Not compared to Sasuke." Welcome to the first stage of the Chunin exams. The intimidating figure at the front of the examination hall growled. "I am Ibiki, the main proctor of this stage. The rules are simple. You start with 10 points per team, and each time you are caught cheating, your team loses 2 points. Once a team has lost all its points, it will be removed from the exams. There is no appeal, the examiner's decision is final. You will answer the first 9 questions, and in 1 hour, you will have the choice of answering the 10th question, although different rules will apply. You may begin." Sakura gulped and turned over the first page of her sheet. "Well, these questions are advanced, but I know the answers. Oh, I hope that Naruto doesn't screw things up trying to cheat. We all know what a klutz he is." "Byakugan," Hinata whispered as she activated her Kekkei Genkai. Without moving, she let her gaze drift around the room. "Aha, Sakura is already answering the questions, I can copy off her and what? Where's Naruto? I know that I saw him come in, but I can't see him. What's going on? Has he been thrown out already? And if he was, why are Sakura and Sasuke still here? I don't understand." At the front of the room, Marino Ibiki frowned as he counted the students yet again. 154 of the seats are filled, but there should be 155 given that 2 of those seated are planted Chunin for others to copy off. 87 people from Konoha, 30 from Suna, 21 from AIM, 6 each from Kusa and Taki, and a team of 3 from the new village of Otogakure, so which group is missing one? I can see both the Chunin, so I know that they're not the problem. Damn it, I